This is the plaintiff, Susan Cordova. She's an interior designer and hired the defendant to build a new tabletop for one of her clients, and the guy botched the job. The table was delivered wobbly. There was no finish on the top, and the defendant refused to fix it unless he gave him a written apology. Huh? She's suing for $1,305.54, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Richard Humphreyville. He says he's been a furniture maker for 34 years, so he knows a thing or two about his craft, thank you very much. Dealing with this plaintiff's been nothing but trouble. She's a liar. The cops were called, and he can't wait to tell the judge his side of the story, because he knows he's in the right. He's accused of wobbling along. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $730, the cost of redoing the table.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Susan Cordova?
Yes.
You are suing, and your company, Expressive Interiors, you are suing Richard Humphreyville and his company, Humphreyville Cabinet Makers Incorporated, correct? For $1,353.54. And the amount that you paid him to redo a table that you say was deficiently done, as well as wages that you lost for losing a client over it. You have a counterclaim against her for $730 that you say she owes you for you to redo the table. What happened? Oh, there's the table. What happened? I knew something was different around here.
That's right. That table, the center part was redone. That's what Humphreyville was hired to do. But
Was this for you or for a client?
It's for a client.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an interior designer. I've been a designer for over 25 years. Part of my job is I hire a lot of subcontractors because I design drapes or I design furniture. In this particular case, this client, this table means a lot to them, and so she opted to have the centerpiece of this table redone.
What was wrong with it?
It had water stains on the centerpiece, so Humphreyville was hired to redo the centerpiece.
Because this table was particularly significant to her,
the
emotionally.
client.
All right, and so you bring him the table. Do you bring him the table? Or does he
I
pick it
brought
up?
him the table.
And you bring him the table when?
I brought it to him in October.
Okay. And what happens?
So he looked at the table, he gave me a price, we wrote up a little contract, I agreed to it. He says, okay, I said, there's no real hurry because they're building a home. He says, fine. So in January, he gives me a call and says the table is ready, late December,
And you brought it to him what month?
In October.
Okay, and so that was fine. The table, you go to pick up the table in January. Hold on one second. So what's the problem?
The centerpiece has a movement to it. On the second time around, he fixed it a little bit.
Okay, no, hold on. Okay, so the first time around comes January, and
I see the top of the table, the leaves are tucked underneath. I said, yes, it's brand new, great. Take it to the client, we open it up, and they start touching it. The wood itself is warped. If you touch the corner, it actually has movement. Like the end pieces don't have movement, but that piece has movement. And he's fixed it. On the second time, it got better, but it's still not right. And he said, when I called him after leaving my clients the first time, in January, he said, I thought I fixed that.
So he knew there had been
He knew there was a problem with that wood.
Okay.
And so he says, don't worry, Susan, I'm going to fix it. I said, this table has to be pristine. My client is so upset that I brought it to her this way, and that he let it go out of his showroom like this.
Okay.
So then in March, he called me and said, the table's ready, I want more money. And I said, I'm not giving you more money. You
have to put your hand down. We take turns. First she gives me her side because she's the plaintiff.
I'm sorry.
Then we'll go to you. Don't worry.
He wanted more money. I said, you are the professional. You knew how much to charge me. We agreed on it. That's what I'm going to pay.
Why did he decide you needed to give him more money?
Because he said, that took me a lot longer than I thought.
Okay.
So I left. I went the next day to go get the table. I could hear him in his shop. He will not open the door, so I was forced to call the police. The police forced him to give me my table, and he finally relinquished it. So I took the table home, and I opened it up, because right there I couldn't, because there was too much commotion. Opened it up. It's like this. It's still not fixed. It's still not suitable for a client.
And the problem is that it's wobbly.
It's wobbly, and it shouldn't do that. It's a dining room table. I mean, you could have someone lean on one corner and a glass of wine could spill, anything. So I call him up. I said, I want my money back because It's still not right, and you had an additional 2 months to fix it. And I have a recording of him calling back, threatening me, saying I have to apologize to him for him doing a lousy job on the table, and it's crazy. So,
Okay. Are you still with this client?
not until this gets resolved. She's very upset, though.
Oh, I'm
So-
sure she is. Okay.
But I do have a recording of him calling me up, knowing that it's not fixed again.
Okay,
He
just
says,
hold the recording and let me hear his side. What's going on?
Good morning, Your Honor. Several things here that are not correct. One, I didn't ask for anything more. $800. I abided by the contract. I don't know where she gets this figure from.
Well, she must get it from the same place that I'm getting, that you have a counterclaim for $730 for money due to
That's
you.
the repair of the table that she didn't give me time
How
enough
does
to
that mean
fix.
you get another $730?
So I can back up through a repair that she didn't let me cure properly. Had she allowed me to fix the table properly without the police there,
Right.
it would have been correct.
Right, and you wouldn't have gotten paid, right?
No, I already got paid $800.
That's right, so you wouldn't have gotten another $730.
I didn't want any.
Okay, so if you wouldn't have gotten another $730 then, what would entitle you to it now?
Because the table was taken before it was cured, it wasn't fixed.
That's right, so why would you get another $730?
Because then when it cured not being fixed, the same bow was in it. To reverse that process, it's going to take me 12 hours.
Listen, pal, I don't know if you figured this out, but nobody's giving you that table again. So you're saying that you want $730 so you can have the table back so that you can get paid to fix it because now it's more expensive to fix.
Because it was
But if in fact no one's going to give you the table, stop. In fact, no one's going to give you the table back, then I guess you don't need those $730.
I hope I never see the table again.
Okay, that's fine. All right, now I understand your counterclaim. Now let's get to her claim. She says that the table was in your domain, again, from January to March, and that you called her to tell her it's ready, but I need more money because this took longer.
No, absolutely not.
Took more work. All right, then why aren't you answering the door and why does she have to call the police?
I keep the door locked.
Okay.
Okay, because I got a lot of whack jobs coming in. It's a bad area, eminent domain, New London, Connecticut. I kept it locked. Somebody knocked. We went to the door. We opened it up. Nobody was there. The guy who works for me said, I think I heard it knock again. I went there for a second time. Nobody there. Third time, somebody rapped on the door hard. I opened the door. It was Miss Cordova, and it was a police officer. He explained that she wanted the table, and I said, she called me last Tuesday, or whenever it was, she was coming Tuesday. We've been expecting her, okay? We've been expecting her to come and get the table.
So there was no problem?
No. She brought a policeman. I'm saying, what's this about? And so she explained it, and we argued about who had possession of the table. I said, I wanted to keep it there long enough so that it would cure. She wouldn't allow me to do that. The officer said, it has to go with her.
So you're saying that you never called her to tell her the table's ready?
No.
You never called her?
No.
Do you have phone records?
I don't.
Okay. See, the problem that I'm having with the idea that you weren't trying to hold the table for more money is that just because she brings the police, if it was an honest mistake, hey, I just didn't hear the door.
I didn't.
Then, that's fine. Then two people go,
I didn't.
that's it.
What do you want?
That's all the two people do. They don't have a problem. They don't have a problem. If in fact there's still an issue that it's still curing, the last thing she wants to do is take it.
Correct.
What she wants is
Correct.
for you to finish fixing it.
Right.
So the fact that she goes over there to pick it up tells me she's telling me the truth.
No.
Because she has no incentive to ruin her own chances at having picked the right guy. She's going over there because somebody called her to tell her it was ready 2 months later.
No,
Okay.
I didn't
So-
call her. And to make matters worse, after the police showed up and they took the piece, she called me up 2 weeks later and she said the table's still warped. I'm going, no kidding, it's warped.
Let me
It
hear.
didn't set
I want to
up.
hear. I
And
want to
she
hear
said it in
the
a
video
monotone
and
way.
the audio, and I also want to know
she's
how you
nuts.
got this audio.
He called and left this message.
He left a message. Okay,
He left it.
go ahead.
Susan, I received your message. The only way I'll deal with this table again is, one, you will write me a formal apology for your actions bringing the police in. Two, I want to deal with the customer, not you, but your client directly. That is the only way I'll work on this table again. Bye.
Okay.
He's never going to see the table again.
Well, of course not.
No.
I mean, if either one of you had a business contact again with each other, I would send you to get your head examined. You know,
You won't have to do that.
That would be crazy.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Do people get too worked up over all of their stuff that if they damage a little thing, it becomes nuclear war?
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say it depends. It depends.
Okay.
You get way too worked up over it. You can't sweat the stuff. You worry about your own life. Don't worry about the material possession.
What do you think, ma'am?
I think we live in a very materialistic society, so yes, we have the right to, respect other people's things, but if it's a small scratch or it's a small damage, there's a lot bigger problems in this world.
And you just live with it.
You just live with it.
Got your point. Going inside the courtroom.
All right. I'm having some difficulty, Mr. Humphreyville, with buying your version for the reasons I've already explained, which is that the reason that no one's opening the door is because there is a dispute about money. The reason that the police get called in is because nobody's opening the door and there's a dispute about money. That the reason that you filed a counterclaim is because there's a dispute about money. As opposed to that she's just a crazy person who wants to go pick up a table that's not done because that'll put her in better standing with her client. She has to deliver that table and it has to be done. And it will serve her no use to pick up a table that's not done and give it to her client. That will not save her from being fired, save her from getting in trouble, or save her face in front of her client. None of that will. And the burden of proof in this case is on the plaintiff to convince me by a preponderance of the evidence. I think I got it right. Now, you're not entitled to the sums that you're asking for. What you are entitled to is exactly what you paid him, which is $848, and that is what my judgment is on your counterclaim 0.
All right, come on in here. All right, so step on in here. What's your reaction to this outcome here?
The judge didn't give me an opportunity to really state the facts. She interrupted me consecutively. She allowed me to state the facts. It would have been a completely different outcome.
What is it you could have said that would have been changed this case right around? What's the big fact?
The police came in and took the piece, okay, before it was ready to go. Okay? And in doing so, the piece cupped back again. She called up with a monotone voice 2 weeks later and said the piece was cupped. I said, no kidding, it's cupped. It was timing. Okay, it was timing, strictly timing. Would she let me finish the piece?
That would have busted this case wide open
right.
if you had a chance to
Precisely.
All right, so head right around the corner there. Thank you. All right, so step on in here. Boy, you're lucky you didn't get a chance to say that. Otherwise, you were cooked.
I'm being dead.
Yeah, so you didn't get everything you sued for.
No, but I'll hopefully have a happy client because I'll get that centerpiece redone.
Mm-hmm. Is that client going to come back to you?
I hope so.
Harvey?
I can make this short and sweet. The defendant doesn't have a clue as to why he lost this case. He made unreasonable demands on the other litigant, and the fact is it doesn't bode well for his next customer. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.